Jay here for Stretford, Paddock. This is the Academy Review, and joining me as always is the brains of the operation, Mr. David Pritt. I don't know what you're shaking your head at, because you are, whether you like it or not. You're the one that knows what's going down. It's just the under-23s this week, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
I mentioned last week the under-18s were supposed to play away at Sunderland, which should have been 3 points, easy win. You know, some of the old boys like Hugo going back, or seeing how it's going. But unplayable pitch.
Unplayable pitch, but not to worry. We've got lots to talk about with under-23s, including some lad, Diallo. Some have not.
There was this lad called Diallo, but then there's this new one called Ahmad. I'm not sure.
I know, yeah. We'll get into all that as well. And obviously, our loanees, the players that have gone out on loan, because some of them, not mentioning any names, James Garner in particular, doing extremely well. So we're talking about all that. Dave, what are you going to kick off for us? What's to start with?
Well, obviously, because of, like I said, the cancellation of the game with the 18th, just the under-23s played this week, but quite a enthralling game.
It's like the opposite of United's first team game, wasn't it?
It was. I was parts where I was really annoyed, and then I think there was a shock moment when I texted you asking you if you were watching it, because I'm like, see what's going on here.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it was mental. So we had Blackburn at home at Leigh Sports Village, you know, home of Manchester United.
Yes, famously.
The news was Galbraith was playing at centre-back and he was captain because Will Fish, first game he's missed all season with an injury. Tedden's no longer there as well. So we had Roos Devine as well, also playing centre-back, he's a left-back. So we had no actual centre-back playing in centre-back, so it was a mixture at the back. Dylan Levitt was playing, and also Amad Diallo as well, again.
Amad Diallo, yeah. I've heard a couple of people talking about him. How did he and they get on?
We had the best opportunities to start with. Fernandez had a run, crossed it in, and Hugo, big 6'2" lad he is, heads it, but unfortunately heads it over. And then not too long afterwards, Dylan Levitt, who's always been good at passing the ball, and he plays a suicidal ball. He just like chips it at the edge of our own box, intercepted by one of the Blackburn players, brings it down and just puts it past Manster, who's in goal. And it was just, you could see his reaction to it, and he knew he made a mistake. And I think you could actually hear it on TV, because obviously no crowd. You can hear him complaining to himself about what he just did, because it was bad.
Did he say, like, flipping heck?
Yeah,
can't believe I've just done that. Crikey.
Gosh darn it.
Yes, crumbs.
So yeah, we got off to a bad start. And it was a bad goal to concede. It was a mistake of our own, and I don't think Manchester could have done anything about it. It was just one-on-one, and he was a good shot in the end. But on about the 20-minute mark, Hannibal, lad with the big hair.
Yes.
He gets the ball on the right-hand side, gets into the box, cuts onto his left foot and just curls it past the keeper, top corner. Lovely goal, really. And you think that could have been one of the best goals you'd seen of the night, but because of what happened, it was just forgot about. It's the first goal. It was like,
no one remembers, like David Beckham in '99 in the semi-final. No one remembers his first goal against Arsenal, do they?
No,
because everyone talks about Ryan Giggs'. Yeah,
there's only one goal in that game, finally. But then, obviously going to 1-1, Blackburn scored again. They had corner. Neville was marking the guy who was in front of him. I think he just didn't jump high enough, and it fell to the attacker, and he just headed it in. Just silly goal once again to concede. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but 2-1. And then just before half time, back heel. Oh no, sorry. I'm getting it's that many goals. I'm getting them confused.
That many goals in the games. It's just all molds into one at times. Just like I said earlier, the opposite of the first team at the minute.
Yeah. So before half time, there was ball on the right to Diallo by Hannibal. He passed it to Shola Shotai, who's on the penalty spot. The way he runs in just on the penalty spot, placed it past the keeper, and it was nice goal, really. The three main players of the game, really, like Hannibal to Diallo to Shotai. It was a nice little link up. And
is that going to be the statue in a few years, do you reckon? Like we've got Best, Charlton and Law. Is it going to be Medjugorje?
Yeah, they're going to knock that down.
Shotai, I don't have to knock it down. Maybe just have it alongside it. I wouldn't have gone that far, Dave, but if that's what your attitude is, you can always mould a small one out of it. I'm just joking.
If they carry on the way they are at the moment, definitely.
There you go. Not even like, well, maybe they'll get a statue. Definitely. 50% of the player statues at Old Trafford will be those three. No, because, all joking aside, they are a joy to watch, aren't they? Love seeing these players, young players, playing like that, obviously enjoying the football and playing for Manchester United.
Yeah, it's brilliant to see, and obviously, the way we've been playing at the moment, we are conceding, but we are scoring goals, and like the Leicester game I talked about the last week, we went in at 2-2, hoping we'd do all right, and obviously Leicester it didn't go well, but and here it didn't get off to the best start in the second half. It was a back heel at the edge of the box, going through to another player, and Reece Devine just had his hands on the player going for the ball. Bit soft, but he did have his hands on him, and ref point to the spot, and penalties aren't really missed, are they? So 3-2, and then Fernandez was on the right, a player coming through, and he was quite weak. He let him get past him. He fell to the floor, gets into the box, picks out a player, and it's 4-2. And you're just thinking, it's just going to be like Leicester again. This
is a nightmare.
Yeah, and we'd have to score 2 goals to get back into it, and luckily, we did really.
It's not luck, Dave. It's just pure class.
It was pure class, and it was a great ball to get us back into it. It was Diallo on the right, switches to his left foot on an in-swinging ball, and Shola headed it in, bottom right corner, really good header. And it's funny for me to see him score headers, because he has scored them in the past, but he has grown. But I always remember him as this last time I saw this little kid, 14-year-old kid who's that short, and I was like, how's he won a header? But obviously he's grown a bit since then, but he was a really good header if you get the chance to see it, and that was the start of the getting back into the game. And then Harvey Neville, who I've been critical in the past, maybe not on here, but I've just thought he's not, people expect him to be like his uncle and be the Gary Neville right back, and in the past he's not been too good. He's been okay, but he's there on name rather than reputation. But to be fair, recently he's been on fire,
really,
and bombing down the right, and he crosses the ball into the back post. Brilliant, really was brilliant cross to Hugill, who's deserved a goal. Really, he heads it in. So 2 headers in a row get us back to 4-4. And like I said, I was critical of him a bit for the goal we conceded when he was marking the man, but then again, he was just one of them things. But Neville has been recently; he's improved hell of a lot, and maybe I don't know. It's coincided really with his dad going to America. Maybe the pressure's off him a bit. Maybe. And maybe he's thinking, his dad's watching, playing for United, but. Yeah, he's really come on, and he's looking good at the moment at right back. So fingers crossed for him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's got obviously lots to live up to with his famous family, but some players it takes them a little while, doesn't it? Like they'll play for United at a certain level, and you think, maybe he's not cut out for it, and then we see him kick on a little bit. I mean, I'm not comparing the two, but Marcus Rashford's a good example of that. There was times, weren't there, when he was 15, 16, people going, is he going to be? Mm-hmm. Is he going to have it? Do you know what I mean? And he just took it to another level with a lot of hard work as well, I hasten to add.
Yeah, and you got to remember, he's not been at the club too long, Neville. I think this is his second year now, because he came over from Valencia because he was playing there. But yeah, he's getting on with it, and he like I say, he does look good, and the way he keeps going, you might get a crack at something. So, fair play to him.
See that.
So we got it back to 4-4, and you thought at that point, you'd be happy with that because the way we were 4-2 down. But Fernandez on the left, he crosses the ball in. I think it was meant for Hugill. He misses the header and it falls to Diallo, who takes it past player and passes it to Shortire for Shortire to score a hat-trick. And it was every goal Shortire scored, it was assisted by Diallo as well, so a hat-trick of assists. It's just poetry in motion, wasn't it?
I feel a bit sorry for Shortire because sometimes it's like all the attention is on Diallo, but obviously,
people
need to recognise
the first goal and his hat-trick goal were both plays. He played it first time to score goals. They were good finishes, but not put on a plate. But it was there. Yeah. The header was something else. The run he made. So he played really well, really Shortire. And then thinking, right, we got the winner now, but Diallo gets a ball, gives it to Shortire. He then gives it to Charlie McCann, who looped it to Fernandez, who pulled it back to the person who started with Diallo, and he scored the 6 to make it 6-4. It was mental.
Raining goals in Lee.
Yeah, and one thing to mention as well, that was the last goal of the game, so we did win 6-4. But
Is that it?
Yeah, I know.
Pathetic.
Being 4-2 down to win 6-4,
Disgrace.
It should have been 10.
Yeah, exactly.
But one thing to note was Diallo's link up, like I say, with Shortire and especially Hannibal towards the end when we were 6-4 up. They were messing about with it on the right hand side, one touch passing back heels.
I've seen some of this online. There was a few clips doing the rounds.
You look at it and it was great to see, and you're thinking, oh, they must have worked on this. But then you find out that Diallo's not actually trained with any of the 23s at all. He's only trained with the first team. So the fact that he's doing this with players he's not trained with is something else.
I'm just trying, Dave, right? And I'm struggling not to get overexcited. Yeah. I can't help myself. And I know the under-23s isn't always a great barometer of where a player's at, but everything we see and hear about, going back to, what I told you earlier, we had Fabrizio Romano on the channel. He was talking about him at Atalanta. He said the Atalanta players were raving about him. He thought Juventus would have come in for him, and he thought United had done well to get him. You've obviously seen him. You've been raving about him. What I've seen of him, I mean, he just looks class.
Yeah, and it's no surprise now when you think that Palestri they sent him out on loan because they've got Diallo in, and I'm not saying Diallo's going to start every game now for the first team or he's going to be involved in every game, but the way he's playing, I think he'll play for the 23s a few more times, but I think he'll come off the bench for the first team, or maybe in the Europa League, but I think he will try and make that right-sided zone because we do need a right-sided player.
We do, because Mason's sort of a square peg in a round hole at the minute. Yeah. And I do love Mason Greenwood, but I don't think he's a right winger by any stretch of the imagination. Physically, where do you think Diallo is? Because some people may look at it and go, has he got the physicality to make that step up into, say, I know you're talking about Europa, but in the Premier League, for example, which is a physical standard of football, do you think he is there yet, or do you think he needs to bulk up a little bit? He probably
needs to bulk up, and this is the problem. They're not daft at United. They know when the players need to put muscle on, and
yeah.
I mean, I was speaking to one of the players' dads a few years ago, and he was talking about how they know exactly how tall they're going to be. They look at them, they do tests on them at the age of 12, and by the time they're 18, they'll say who's going to be this height and this weight. And he said everything they said got spot on, and they know exactly when they need to do muscle training with him and stuff like that. And I think that's something with Chong. You look at him; he's bulked up a little bit, but he's not gone. Like the way that Rashford did when he bulked up. I think they're taking the time with him, and Diallo at the moment, he is quite slight, and I think he may struggle in the Premier League with the physical side, but his skill maybe overcome that, and he might be able to do something with it. But they'll take the time with him because he is young. They want to make everything right and make him that player that if it does work out, that he's going to be here for the long haul and everything's going to work out.
Can't wait to see him first time, even though, first team, sorry, but I can understand why they are being patient, and like you say, different players, different like levels of physicality. Look at someone like Jesse Lingard, who was tiny, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But he never really got big. Even when he was playing in the first team, he was still quite sort of slim.
Yeah, it was the same with McTominay. He was always small. They knew he was going to have, I don't know how, but they knew he was going to have a growth spurt.
It's mad that you know that.
So they didn't do any training, and he was always dead slight. And the moment he got to that height, that's when he bulked, and he looks like a big
muscle. Yeah, now, and he's not big, but
he looks strong, doesn't he?
Yeah,
and that's the thing. That people saying, "Oh, get him in the gym," but United know what they're doing. They get him in the gym at the right time.
Such a basic. Just get him in the gym, put him on the weights. Yes, that's how it's done. Then you're automatically stronger and bigger, and it doesn't affect your football ability. Yeah, it looks like the club have got a gem on their hands, and also I love the fact he's linking up with the other players as well, not under 23s. It's just. It's difficult, isn't it, because under 23s is such a weird standard, isn't it, to sort of be able to gauge where a player's at. But there's little doubt that these are talented youngsters we've got, not just Diallo, but the other players you've mentioned as well.
Yeah, it's like Shortire, he's coming on. He's still, I think, I'm not too sure, 18, now 17, 18.
Yeah.
Because he made his debut for the under-19s in the Youth League at 14, the youngest ever player to do it. So he's still... And that one,
so after as well, when he Shortire, there's talk of big teams being interested in him.
Yeah, and he's just signed a professional contract now as well. So I think he might have just turned 18. I don't know. But Yeah, he's wanted, and this is the thing about the academy at the moment. There is all these players out on loan, but we've got this hive of amazing, talented players that if they perform, they're going to get a chance.
That's the thing. I think that's such a massive carrot for these players, because the one thing that United can offer that perhaps City or even the Scousers can't really offer is, all right, they've got Trent Alexander-Arnold or they've got Phil Foden, but they're not renowned for giving loads of youngsters a chance. United, even, right, Jose aside, but Van Gaal did it, and Ollie's certainly doing it. And you look at the way Brandon Williams, no one expected him to be challenging for that left-back spot last season. He's coming. Mason Greenwood, okay, he was a phenomenon at young level, but people were saying, be patient with him, giving... Ollie threw him when he was, what, 17? I think he's made his debut under Ollie. Or he
made his debut the night we beat Juventus.
Yeah, so there's... you look at the chances of Chong. All remembers that famous picture in Paris. Chong. Yeah. I think is it Chong, Greenwood. I think is Gomez on there. Well?
He didn't come on, but I think he had the tracksuit. And Brandon Williams.
They're all there, and it's like that's one thing we can offer at Manchester United. Apart from being the biggest club in the country, if not the world, we can also say, look, if you get your head down, work hard under this manager and the ethos of the club, you're going to get a chance.
Yeah, and that's why I love our academy so much. It is about seeing these players do well, and even players that don't make it United and go on to do other things. It's nice to see him. He was a United lad. And
I'm like certain players like Ryan Tunnicliffe, for example. I always cared about him because I saw him in that youth team, wanted him to do well. You sort of have these players that you look at and you think, oh, he's a good player. He's been a bit unlucky not to make it to United. I hope he does well. But when there's a player who you've seen, especially someone like yourself who watches all the younger ages, and you see them come through and you see them develop, you do have that affinity with them, don't you? And it's real special to see players come through the academy. Yes, we love shiny new signings who come in and set the world alight, and I'm not sort of disparaging them, but there is something different about seeing a player. Doesn't matter whether you're from Manchester or not, doesn't matter whether that's nothing to do with it, but seeing a player just coming through the youth, coming through the academy and making it, it's just great.
And I think the fans appreciate him a lot. I mean, look at the way people respond to Rashford. Even someone like Rafael da Silva. I know we got him a bit older, but he did play for our under-18s and 23s, and people have an affinity to him, because he understands the United way. And
he understood it, didn't he?
Yeah, and I think it is. You do get that. You don't always get it with signings.
Yeah,
some you do, but others it's just playing for United.
Yeah, it's just part of a job. But yeah, I think that when you get those, like you say, Rafael da Silva, the one sale that we made post-Fergie that hurt me the most. Yeah, I absolutely love that lad.
I know. I think it was because didn't he get sent off against Bayern Munich when Van Gaal was manager? And I think
in his head he thought he's a duff for him, because I remember after a horrible time joining being a United fan. He was always good box office. He always got the crowd going. He's always, got stuck in and was a good footballer. The only issue you had with him was made of glass.
Yeah.
But anyway, we digress. We can talk about Rafael da Silva for hours. What's up next?
So they played tonight, and I cannot remember. My head's gone. Who we're playing? Playing tomorrow night. Sorry, Friday. I can't think who we're playing.
Let's have a. It's all right. We have the power.
I'll have a quick look now.
We have the power.
Yeah, this is. It's so unprofessional that I can't remember.
Dave, me and you've been doing this long enough, and you've been on this channel long enough to know.
So who's going to get it first? You ready?
Oh, you've.
It's a big one. It's a big one. It's Arsenal. Arsenal tomorrow night.
Right. So, I tell you what, United play Arsenal in the under-23s tomorrow night.
You really?
I just remembered, Dave, and I think it's at home. Memory serves. Arsenal, so that's a bit of a test, is it? Arsenal got a decent under-23s team.
We always seem to struggle against Arsenal. They seem to. They do have homegrown talent, and they also do what we do and go out and find them abroad at young ages. And I've seen. I can't think of any names at the moment, but I have seen.
What the thing with Arsenal, right, is they proper get overexcited about their youngsters. Like
we do as well.
No, we don't, right, Dave? No, we don't. We get appropriately excited about future Ballon d'Or winners like Amad Diallo.
Maybe we know they're going to do it.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? When I say there's going to be a statue of him, I'm not getting carried away. That's factual, Dave. Yeah. Right, we'll sit here in 2050 when there's a statue there and I'll say, I told you so. But, I see like Maitland-Niles, he has Martial in one pocket and Rashford in the other, and then the next thing he's gone out on loan.
Yeah.
Or tell Greenwood to come outside because... Joe Willock's had a shot or whatever.
Like Gabriel Martinelli, the
Yeah.
the former Manchester
Yeah, the one
United
that we didn't
trialist.
want, that they now is like the best player in the history of association football. They overhype it even more than we do, and that's saying something. So yeah, I always get a
They
little
do
bit
like to get
annoyed.
excited though, Arsenal fans.
They get excited about everything. Let's not go down there. We'll end up down a right rabbit hole. But yeah, big test for these players. And now there's more attention on them, isn't there? Because people are watching. A lot more people I know are watching under 23s who've never even had much of an interest in it, because you've got like Shortire and Hugo Diallo.
I think Diallo is the attraction to it at the moment. I've never seen so many people say, "Oh yeah," when I've mentioned it. Yeah, I watched that. It's like, you never watch the 23s. Why? It's, Diallo's playing. That's what it is, because, like you say, there is the draw of that new signing. He hasn't come through our academy. He's playing for them, but he's a first team player, and so people are tuning in to see that. But
I can't wait.
it's good.
It's a shame in it because we're not at Lee.
Yeah.
Because I think there would be a crowd there.
Of course, it would be people.
Yeah,
waiting outside for selfies with him and all
you
that.
normally
Yeah.
get like 2,000 or whatever there, don't you? We've been, obviously you've been a lot more than I have, but I've been there and usually get like a decent enough crowd to make a bit of noise, and it's quite it's family atmosphere. But I reckon there'd be about 10,000. I reckon he'd put like that many there because people are dying to see him.
Yeah, well, it's just by coincidence. 5 years ago today, we played City there, and it's last time I saw it where all four sides were used at Lee, and and it's a nice, good picture I took really, and you can see all the sides, and it could have been like that, but obviously with things that's going on, it's
just got to be patient until we can see Diallo in the flesh.
And yeah, it'll be soon, hopefully.
Soon, can't wait, man.
Then another big game coming up on Saturday
is
the under-18s. Obviously, like I said, their game was postponed against Sunderland, but this week we play Manchester City.
Who? City?
Yeah.
I've heard of him. Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. I remember.
They're them ones that I think.
Yeah.
I think they play in blue.
Yeah. Down near the East Manchester way.
Yeah, I think that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're playing them. Have they got a good under 18?
Yeah,
They bought half the world, haven't they?
It's City. They've got a good academy. Yeah.
A good academy that they've all nurtured.
Well, I've mentioned this before, and it's not a criticism of them. It's just the way they run their academy. It is
disgustingly, in my opinion.
It's about winning the trophies at the youth level, so they can say we've won this trophy. And if you go to the Etihad, if you posted around the stadium on the side of it is all the trophies they've won. The women, what the women won at 23, and all the 18s and stuff like that's on there, and that's what they want.
There is the one thing I will give them credit for, even though it pains me. Is they've obviously got a stadium, haven't they, for their youngsters. It's more, not even a credit to say, it's more of a criticism of United, because whilst we all love our trips to Lee, the fact that we haven't got a separate stadium for our under 18, or our under 23s, our women's team, is a disgrace. It's just money saving.
It's just don't want to spend the money.
Spending money. And it's a joke that we're one of the biggest clubs in the world, and we have to go down to Lee Sports Village to watch our youngsters play, or at Carrington. It's farcical.
I know, I'm not mentioning any names, but someone who was very high up in the academy under the Van Gaal era, who they had their plans drawn out for a stadium, and it was going to be near Old Trafford, and Van Gaal loved it, he approved it, they took it up to the board. The Glazers said, no, we're not spending money.
Not like the Glazers say, no, we're not spending money. Eh? I tell you what, if this was Tampa Bay Buccaneers under 18s, you'd build them a bloody super stadium, wouldn't you? Jesus wept.
But yeah, like I say with City though, it is about winning stuff at youth level and not necessarily getting them into the first team, where we're the other way around. It's not all about winning the youth stuff. It's nice when we do win it, but it's about getting stuff in the first team. You can say, you'll have City fans saying someone like Phil Foden's come through the academy, but yeah, I'm happy for him.
Sure, they don't like to talk about Phil Foden.
No, I am happy. It's someone who's come through all the way, and I like to see that at any club.
Fair enough, you're a better man than I am.
And it's proven that all these superstars spending all this money, and you've got probably City's best player this season who's come through the academy, and that's the way clubs should be run.
It is good. I mean, you're right. I get what you're saying, and it is sort of, if I can use the word good to see, is a positive thing to see, and especially a club like City, who not brought youngsters through since the Brightwell brothers, I think. It's one for the older generation, but United do that. City is, do it to a lesser degree, and like you say, they like to bring in youngsters. We've done that. We brought in Paul Pogba, we brought in Pereira. Rafael de Silva. I'm not saying that we're not guilty of that, if that's the right word, ourselves. But City, obviously, that seems to be more their modus operandi is to sort of bring in these players.
I think they'd be happy if they won the under-23 league and they won the Youth Cup.
Yeah.
But none of them players play for the first team. I think they'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
That's the one way to go, and it's not a criticism. It's just we do it differently.
We do things differently. This means more. Oh no, that's not ours, is it? Thank God. Should we move on to the loanees?
Yeah, because I would start off with James Garner.
Jimmy Garner.
Obviously moved to Nottingham Forest after he's out of favour at Watford. I don't know.
Watford, I think, a managerial merry-go-round, I think, usually
Yeah.
the order of the day at Watford, and I think that's what moved James Garner over to Nottingham Forest, where he's having a nightmare, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he started again and played the 90 against Wycombe Wanderers in a 3-0 win, and he won the man of the match 2 games in a row now.
Do you know what I love, right? If you Google Jimmy Garner or James Garner, Forest, Busquets comes up. That's what Forest fans are comparing him to.
That's the thing at the moment. The way they do their man of the match, it's a Twitter poll.
Oh God!
So obviously you're getting a lot of United fans clicking it, which
I don't believe that for 1 minute, David.
So he has won man of the match, but
I mean that is it's a fair way of analysing and coming up
democracy.
with it. Yeah, democracy in action.
But if you do read between the lines and have a look at what the Forest fans are saying, they're very, very impressed with him and already saying they want to keep him. It's been 2 games, and so yeah, he's doing that very well over there.
Yeah, and I love Jimmy Garner. I hope he does have success at Forest and then comes back. Seen back at United, and me and you've spoken about it several times that there's a role there for him in the future.
I think so. He's, maybe a character type, something like that.
Yeah.
I do compare players, but I don't always like to do it. He's obviously his own player, but he's got a chance.
Yeah, he's got a chance, and obviously doing well there, and it's good practice almost and experience. It's not just about obviously playing, but you're in the first team at a club. You're getting that attention that you don't get when you play for, even though you're a massive club out of United, you don't get the same attention for the under-23s as you would in the first team in a championship side like
of course,
Forest.
and it's more competitive football in my opinion.
Good for him, and I hope it all goes very well. Who else have you got?
Ethan Laird at MK Dons.
This is one I'm keen. I really want to see this lad do well because he's had such a time of it with injuries. And how's it going?
Yeah, he played 2 games this week. He played 90 minutes in a 2-2 draw with Sunderland. But he's like I say, he's not playing right back really. He's playing either right wing back or just right mid. Right winger.
He's
really.
almost like the sort of architect of his own. Not downfall, but he's of what's happening because he's so good going forward.
Yeah.
I can see the temptation.
This is what I've always loved about him. He's as good going forward as he is defending. But yeah, they seem to be loving him over there. And he also played 85 minutes in a 4-1 win over Rochdale. So he is, he's starting most games but 85 minutes. We got subbed off, but just giving him a little.
Maybe that was for the crowd. To give him an applause, even though there's no crowd there.
Yeah, and he ended up being in the team of the week for League One this week. So, yeah.
Mate, that's not a Twitter poll, by the way. That's great to see. We know what Ethan Laird's capable of. The only question mark around that lad is injuries, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's a fantastic footballer, great player, but he needs a bit of the rub of the green when it comes to injuries, and hopefully he'll get it.
Taif Chong, he's now at
Bruges.
Club Bruges. I knew it was Bruges, but I couldn't remember the word before it. Club.
This
Club
is what
Bruges.
I'm here for. You know what I mean?
He start. I think did he start? Or he came on. I think. Sorry, and he scored the 5th in a 6-1 win in the Belgian Cup.
The most important one.
Yeah, it was what he needed to do.
Because he's been such a strange career so far for Tahith Chong. Because out of all those youngsters, maybe Mason Greenwood aside, he was the one everyone was hyping. This is the guy. He's amazing. He's going to be the next big thing. Never really did it for the first team when he got his chance. All right, he only got like friendlies and cameos in the cup games, but still, didn't do well. And then went to Werder Bremen, started off really well pre-season. Early doors in the Bundesliga. Then almost, I don't want to say fell off a cliff, but it all went wrong. And has now gone to Belgium to sort of, I don't want to say, I keep saying don't want to say, but I don't want to say rehabilitate his career, but it feels like he does need a bit of consistency.
Yeah, well, he's, like I say, Werder Bremen, he was he started off well. It just seems to die down a bit, and he started off well here because he got subbed on in at half time in the league and didn't score. Sorry, they won 2-0 on the second goal. He assisted in the 90th minute. So he's 2 games in a row. He's got a goal. He's got an assist, and he's not second game. He only came on at half time. So I know it's not the same as the Premier League, but at least he is doing something, improving something.
You've just got to be careful because some young players, they get a little bit overhyped, and then people say, "Oh, well, they're not up to it," but they can be a little bit later developing than we expected. So maybe at 18, 19, they're not like the player we thought they were going to be at 15, 16 when they were getting raved about. But then when they get to 2021, 22, then we're seeing bloom.
We've mentioned this before, but Jesse Lingard.
Oh, yeah.
How long did it take him? It was
24, yeah.
It was,
and, he went on 4 loan move, was it? And at one point, it looked like he wasn't going to make the grade at United, but he persevered, he kept his head down. And I think Fergie called it, didn't he? Fergie said he's going to be one of them players at 23 before he gets into the first team, and he did. And all right, he's gone on loan to West Ham now. He's almost come full circle. But for about 18 months, 2 years, Jesse Lingard was one of United's most effective players.
Well, I mean, people joked and called him Hesse Lingard because he was playing so well. He's just obviously with his personal issues, what's going on at home.
Yeah, you got to give him some. Be patient with him and sort of give him a bit of leeway there, because we talk about mental health and we talk about how we care and players need support and people need to be kind to one another and all this stuff. And then when a player suffers with it, we say, "Oh, he's rubbish, he's crap."
Yeah, this is the problem.
Do you know what I mean?
And he's proven. The first game he had at West Ham, it looked like he had his confidence back.
And I love to see that. And I'm no West Ham fan. I can't stand him, but I'm glad for it.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Jesse Lingard fan, not West Ham.
Yeah, exactly. Hello, is that West Ham? Have you got any more for us?
Yeah, so Alio Traore, he's at Cairn. I always pronounce it.
Mate, don't look at me.
Yeah.
I can barely
You're
pronounce,
the journalist.
I can barely pronounce Manchester.
Unused sub for the first game in a 0-0 Bowfest, so we don't really care about that.
Okay.
But he last night they played PSG. He started and played 58 minutes in a 1-0 loss against them. So
it's a good test for him.
Yeah, of course it is.
I mean, obviously not getting beat is good, but it's good experience, and that's what we want our youngsters to get.
Next one, Desean Bernard. Can you remember where he is?
Desean Bernard. I want to say no, I don't. I can't. Salford. That. Yeah. Do you know what? No, I wasn't going to say that. I can't pretend. How's he getting on?
We were supposed to play 2 games this week, but the first one was postponed against Bolton. Once again, unplayable pitch.
Yeah.
It's professional football, surely.
Do you know what I mean? Just get out there and play on it.
I've seen them play cricket in the rain. They just pull them sheets over, so why can't they do it in football?
I mean, was it Salford? The rugby team had to play on snow and ice once. And all the players had all the legs scraped to bits, but they had it because it was a Sky televised game.
That's what you got to do, isn't it?
Mate, do you know what I mean? I'm not recommending that, by the way, for the footballers.
And then midweek, he played 90 minutes in a 4-1 win over Cambridge.
Salford had a right result, didn't they? And that's good that he played the full game. What you want to see, getting games, winning games, being effective.
Yeah, this is a problem. To watch League Championship, League 1 and League 2, they do this thing called iFollow. What I had to watch the EFL trophy, when the under-21s were in it. And it's a tenner a game to watch a poor stream. So I've not, unfortunately, been...
Sorry, don't worry, Dave. We don't expect you to pay a tenner to watch every single game. But from what we've seen...
I do watch. I mean, I mentioned...
You watch a lot.
If there was no COVID, I'd have gone to a Salford game, just to watch him in person and stuff like that. This is the problem.
Are you a Salford fan? Do you care?
No,
I don't get into that.
No,
like United fans are like, Salford's my second team.
No, don't.
Why?
I
don't Salford.
I'd only go to see Bernard.
I don't care if Salford do well. I'm not got an affinity for him. Not just because Gary Neville owns him.
No, if they do well, it's fair play to him. But I'm not.
I'm an Inter Miami fan because Beckham owns a piece. No, I don't really care. Don't care.
He owns a bit of Salford as well.
Yeah, of course. He really takes a hands-on approach to that.
Next one, Pelestri. Gone out on loan.
For Sundo. Oh, no, it's Facundo, isn't it?
Facundo,
yes.
Yeah. Unused sub, once again.
Well, they need to sort that out because we're not loaning him to sit on the bench. You can do that here.
Another one, unused sub. Ted and Mengi at Derby County under Wayne Rooney. But...
Wazza, what are you doing?
I can see that. They're going to bread him in slowly. He's still young. He's
obviously he's centre back. You don't just stick him in straight away unless you leave Van Allen. It's Paddy McNair.
Throwman.
Remember that one? I'll never forget that. Everyone was like, "What?" Even people that watched like the academy were like, "Really?" But he did well. We won that game.
The last one is Jacob Carney, who's told he's playing in the Northern Ireland Premier League for Portadown. They've been a couple of draws, a 1-1 draw and a 2-2 draw. But I was speaking to a guy who's a Portadown fan, and he said he's been really good and he's watched the games. He said the first game, the 1-1, he was nothing he could do the goal, and his distribution's been good, and they've been really impressed with him. And you know, he's quite young and he's dominating in the box. You know, making the box his own and telling players what to do. I think, and we don't really have that at the moment. The first team, do we?
You never know. Like people might look at it and go, Portadown or Isley, yeah, he's never going to get a United team. Why not? He's a goalkeeper. He proves himself, does well. There can be a career path that leads him back to Old Trafford and into that.
Yeah, well, if you took someone like David De Gea and stuck him in there with the same defence and stuff like that, yeah, he'd probably make better saves. But I don't think it'd be as easy. He wouldn't have a clean sheet every week, would?
No. And this is what I mean. And
it's different with goalkeepers.
Yeah, and part of it is commanding your area. It's something we struggle with. If you mention distribution, it's depressing.
Yeah, and that's it for the loans. So, like I say, what we've got coming up, we've got Friday night,
Arsenal.
Under-23s Arsenal. Saturday, Under-18 City.
That mob, from down there.
So, 3 points each, please.
3 points, yeah. 6 points minimum, yeah. We don't expect anything less than that. Dave, that's been brilliant now. Obviously, lots of exciting things going on, massive scorelines, youngsters coming through, doing really well. We all love to see it. Dave, where can people find you?
Twitter, David J. Pritt, and Instagram, David Pritt, if you want to follow.
Say it with all the enthusiasm of someone who's got a gun to their head. Like, don't sell yourself short, Dave.
If you want to follow
him, man. He's always on the ball.
If you don't,
He's always, if you go through Dave's old tweets, you should, what you should start doing? Go through your old tweets and start retweeting them. Everyone does that. Like, when they've said something like, McTominay looks decent, and they'll go like, look, told you.
Well, I actually did that the other day. I found a note on my Academy Review Twitter. I found my old McTominay scoring for the Under-21s.
What did you say about him?
Well, I just quote tweeted it and just said,
I didn't even know that was. I didn't even know that one. Glad. So you should, because you have actually been singing these players' praises, where other people have just like made comments and then hammered them for 2 years, and then go, look, I told you so. So yeah, make sure you check out Dave. He'll be having you covered for all the youngsters at Old Trafford, and also make sure you check out all the videos on the channel. If you're not subscribing to the channel, sort it out. You've got a YouTube channel. You're not doing it anymore.
Yeah, you do this every week.
Every week. Come on, it's what the people love.
Eventually, it'll get me back and running. Eventually,
when he gets to 1,000 subs on his channel, he'll bring it back with an exclusive Diallo interview. I'm not joking about Diallo interview, but make sure you check that out anyway.
Give this video a like.
Yes, make sure you're hitting like, share, and subscribe. That's been Dave Pritt. I'm Jay Motty. This has been the Academy Review. Thanks for watching.